College basketball has got so confusing, you just don't know what is going on. We used to always say, you know what, these college athletes need to get paid. We need to make sure these college average athletes get the money they deserve. Man, were we wrong, okay? Now this has become college basketball is now you're a professional if you're a pro at this point. Some of these players are making 200K, 500K, 700K, $1 million, 2 million. As you can see, we're going up, right? The money is there. So you're telling me Baylor has zero returning players. Zero. Why? Because young moolah, baby. Let me break it down to you. But before I break it down, let's look at how they did this year. So they were 20-15, 13-3 at home. They were cool. They had some work to do. They obviously wasn't Houston, but they were still a good team. That whole team is broken up. But my thing is we got to take consideration the coaches that are keeping the players around, because during this time, it's hard to keep a player. Like the Duke coach, forgot his name, but this man right here has zero players lost in the transfer portal. Zero. That means people like to play for him. That means he's a player's coach. That means he knows how to hold these people accountable and they respect him. That is what we're talking about. Now, if he was able to keep Cooper Flagg, that would have been amazing. But obviously, Cooper Flagg got to go to the NBA. He's doing big and better things. So we can't just be standing around, right? But this shows what type of coach he is. Obviously, I don't know the man personally, but I'm assuming he's doing a great job. And, he has fill in for a Coach K, and those are big shoes to fill. And I think right now he's doing a great job because now keeping these players, if you guys coach AAU, you know that keeping players long term is something hard to do. Okay, by you keeping a player more than 1 year, you're doing a great job. Okay, so by him coming into the next season, obviously losing Cooper Flagg, that's going to be a hit. I don't see them going as far in the NCAA. My bad. In March Madness, I don't see them going as far but never mind, because they got some people coming in. So you know what? I think they are. I think this coach is on to something good, and this just shows that you can still be a great coach and still hold players accountable and still keep them around, right? Because they believe in you. I think now, as a coach, you got to have the players believe in you, in your system as a coach. If they don't believe in you, that's when they go other places. But you also can't get mad if a player leaves and now he went from 200K to 500K. That is an upgrade. Sometimes you got, unfortunately, we live in the money world. I don't agree with it to the fullest, but that's just the reality. Some people are going to listen to this and say, I can't believe you said that. Keep it real. You can't. First of all, you got to pay your bills. So anyway, like I'm saying, that coach right there has it figured out, and I definitely commend everything he's doing because he's doing a great job. To have that happen, no lost players in the transfer portal, excellent. And this was crazy. 65% of all the D1 players who enter the portal either transfer down to a lower level or they don't find a home. So I think, this needs to be looked at, man. A lot of these players, man, you go D1. I didn't play D1. I went to an NAIA small school. But if you're going D1 and you have the opportunity to play and they're paying for your scholarship and it's not the money that you want, or it might not even be the best situation, try to stick through, because when you stick through in life, things happen when you stick through during the hard time, because it could only get easy. I think sometimes as players, we want the best situation, and that's not always going to occur, especially if we have 65% of the D1 players going and they're going to go down a level. So that means they either went D2 or to a lower D1, D2, D3, NAIA, whatever, or even a junior college. But why not fight through and keep pushing? If they already paying for everything for your scholarship or paying you money, just try to focus on getting your education, your degree, your master's, your doctorate. I think those needs to be the focus. I think we're so focused on basketball at times, and unfortunately, not all of us will be playing in the NBA or even overseas, right? The percentages drop as you go to the higher level, right? From elementary, middle school, high school, college, pros, like the percentages get low. But I think this transfer portal, I like it and don't like it, because some players will go, D2 and then go to portal and go to a D1, right? Or go to a low D1 and then go to a high major D1 or a mid major, whatever the case may be. So those situations we understand. We just don't understand the situations where players like, I'm going to the portal and then they ain't got no home. So now you just left a great situation because you had a D1 scholarship to now enter something where you don't even got a home. Now you coming back home, people looking at you different. Now you like, okay, what happened? Now you got to come up with these excuses. Feel like you need to lie, but really you should just stayed at school and stuck it through. Obviously, all situations are different. This is my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, it is what it is. I'm not going to please everybody, but this is just me talking freely. I think the transfer portal is 50-50. Like it's good and it's bad, right? It has its good and its bad, just like most things in life. But I think that transfer portal is now going to have these high school players having to have the ability to step it up sooner. Because if not, you go on JUCO, brother. And that's no knock to no JUCO player or prep. But those are the situations we're dealing with. And I think parents need to start doing their research more to understand all the things that's going on today in this collegiate world, right? Now, I think players, back in the days played multiple sports. That's going to be tough. I think you need to focus on one sport because it's so competitive. You need to understand that when you come out of high school, you need to be ready to play at that college level, and you can't run from things. You have to stick things through because what's happening too is you're seeing kids go AAU team to AAU team to AAU team. So when they get to college, they're going to college to college to college. Some for good reasons, some for bad reasons. Some just probably want just something different. But I'm not knocking nobody that goes in there and gets more money or goes in there from a D2 into a D1 or even goes to a low major to a mid major or high major. We respect those. We just don't respect it when you go in there and you ain't got no home and or you go down a level because now we don't want to we want to progress. We don't want to go backwards. We want progress. We want elevation. We want to look forward to things. So that's my take on it, man. Tell me what y'all think about this transfer portal.